October, everybody. I'm so happy that you all are here with us at the Bluegrass family this week. I have some really delicious and classic recipes to share with you all. The first one being the Southern style pinto beans and country ham pieces that I grew up eating as a child and I still love to have as an adult, and I still love to serve my family. And I'm also going to make a really good white chicken chili with some of our farm-raised chicken that we raised here on our farm, and I will link that video below. But I put my whole chicken in the Instant Pot about a couple nights ago, cooked it on slow overnight, and then I air fried it and shredded the chicken and put it in the refrigerator because I knew I wanted to make this white chicken chili. It's a little cooler today. It's the perfect day to make these up, and it's a Wednesday, so we have church. And we're probably not going to get to eat both of these things for supper, but on a busier night, I like to have a couple things made or one thing made that we can eat on and we can save and maybe eat for lunch throughout the week. So that's what we're going to do with these two things, and that's something that I love about them, is that you can make them ahead, pop them into the refrigerator and keep them, and then you can just reheat them and have them for lunch or dinner on some of those busier days. So we already got our homeschooling done. I think I shared with you all that we are now homeschooling. So we do that in the morning, and we're usually have our lessons completed by lunchtime. And so we've got that out of the way, and we're going to focus in on getting these delicious recipes made. And I have a few other fun things, crafts, to share with you all as well. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to like and subscribe to our channel. We're called the Bluegrass family, and we are a family from Kentucky, and we have a farm here where we're raising our own pigs, meat chickens, laying hens. We have several beehives, and then we raise a garden seasonally. So we share all of that with you all, along with some good farm to table recipes and just our life and fun crafts and things like that. So if you are interested in those things, we would love to have you subscribe to our channel. But for this week, we will get right into it. The first thing I like to do is to soak my pinto beans overnight. And some people add a little bit of baking soda and water, and then they just let them sit and soak. So I've noticed that if I don't soak my beans, they just don't get as tender whenever I'm cooking them down. And I like for my pinto beans to be soup beans, to be thick and creamy and delicious, and I just think that soaking them overnight in water really helps to get the consistency that I like. So I'm going to go ahead and get my beans rinsed out in some fresh water and add it into a slow cooker, and I'm actually going to cook them on high for about 4 hours just to have them done a little bit quicker. And then I'll move on to getting started with the white chicken chili. And the good thing about these beans is that they're so easy to prepare. The only thing you have to do is think ahead a little bit the night before. That way you can soak them. And then you just put them in the slow cooker with some country ham pieces and put them on low if you want them to cook for 8 hours, or put them on high if you want them to cook for 4 hours, and they're done. I had some leftover beef broth that I had saved from making a roast, and I just poured off the juices from making that roast into that jar. And so I decided that I would add my beef broth into my pinto beans to give it a little bit of extra flavor. If you have beef broth on hand, you can do that if you want a nice added flavor to your beans. And then I topped it off with enough water. So the thing with cooking soup beans is that they swell and expand, and you want to make sure that you have plenty of water in the crock pot, or you may come back and some of your beans may not be cooked, or they may have absorbed all of your water. So just make sure that you have plenty of water. And then I added in those country ham pieces on top. And so I put it on high and I'll let it cook for 4 hours, and it will be nice and delicious when it's all done. For my white chicken chili, I don't have to cook the chicken because I've already got that taken care of. Like I said, I put it in my Instant Pot already and cooked that. So I already have it shredded and in the refrigerator. But instead of putting it in the crock pot today, I'm gonna cook it in my cast iron enamel Dutch oven, which I absolutely love. And if I can find a link to this, I'll link it below. But it's great for making any kind of soup or stew or anything like that because it just cooks so much better. And using cast iron is a million times better for you than anything else. So we're going to start by melting some butter and cooking a little bit of onion and garlic to add into our white chicken chili. And if I have some green pepper and red pepper, I think I do, I'm gonna add that in as well. I will link the video below that has this homemade yeast bread recipe in it because this is such a delicious bread and it is so simple to make. I just keep coming back to this recipe time and time again. So if you all would like that, then you can click on that video below and make some for yourself because it is so good. I ended up letting these beans go overnight. Once we got back home from church, I turned them down to warm and I let them cook all night long. And so this morning I got a bowl out and they are so delicious with tons of flavor with those country ham pieces, and so they turned out so good. Y'all have seen me wax my flowers, you've seen me cut fresh bouquets and make some pretty floral arrangements with those, but I had hung these flowers to dry a couple weeks ago and there's just something so majestic, I think, about dried flowers. They're so beautiful. And I had mentioned this craft a few weeks ago in one of my other videos. I think it was, I don't remember the name of it, but I talked about some fall crafts and this one is
one of my all-time favorites. I think we did this art project in elementary school, and it has kind of stuck with me for a long time. I really love the muted tones of just the pencil tracing over the pressed leaf. I had pressed these leaves a few weeks ago and found some and saved these, and I really love the thought of kind of Mod Podging those leaves at some point, so I may try to do that as well. But today I was just going over in this pressed leaf with the pencil, kind of tracing the outline. I don't know if you've ever seen this done, but I love the way that it turns out. It's so pretty. And then I already had this sweet little wood and gold frame, and I framed it up and had the command strips and everything already. I just switched it out with another little drawing that was in it. So this adds a nice little fall touch in a really simple and affordable way. These are my most favorite types of crafts, the ones that are simple, quick, and they're affordable, but yet they're very they're still elegant and they're still beautiful, and they're also very earthy. So I love these, and this is going to be hanging on the wall in my living room. I have a lot of wood tones in there, I have a lot of gold tones in there, and I think I've mentioned before that I really just love the whole earth tone colors, the neutral kind of earth tone colors. Those are the colors that draw me, I think, just because they seem to be more natural and remind me of nature. And so I hung this in the living room, and I love the way it turned out. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and we hope you all have a wonderful weekend.